Hello, each and every one of you glorious people. Now today, as you can see by the title, is a Q&A. I asked recently on a video and in Twitter to send your questions to me and I'll answer them right now. However, disclaimer, I will not be answering what my questions involving my setup, like what I record with, stuff like that, because in about 2 weeks-ish, I'm going to be moving, and that's when I'm going to do a setup tour. I'm going to say what I'm using. And I'll do a little house tour as well because it's a new place, a new house that I bought. So that's going to be ignored. If any of you had asked that and I don't answer, well, that's why. You can stay tuned for that. See, I sound so professional. Also, we have a ton of questions to go through, so I'm not going to go all high quality and act it out and post all the things on the bottom and stuff. It's going to be pretty low detail, so I apologize in advance. So let's start off with one of the most controversial questions I think we'll get on this whole thing, alright? Let's just get it out of the way now. Arguments in the comments galore, hopefully not. Which is, from C3, or I guess C cubed, should pineapples be on pizza? Well, C3 cubed. The real answer to that is, it should be in my stomach along with a pizza. So in other words, yes, I think so. Pineapples on pizza, fucking good, alright? I said it, sue me, alright? Sue me. This next question comes from a name that isn't mine, and a name that isn't mine said, what is one thing you would want to have or do in GTA 6? More strip clubs. Well, if I had to put anything in there, I like their idea of having multiple characters to play as through the campaign. However, it would have been really cool if it was co-op, so do something similar, just make a co-op and throw in heist-like things maybe, or just something that requires a bunch of teamwork to do. I think that'd be pretty cool, so I don't know, what would you guys want to that? That's a pretty good question. I mean, because GTA 5 already has a lot of stuff in it, so that's pretty much the only thing that stands out to me that I really would want. Next one is from a kid from Africa, and he asks, will you adopt me? Yes, I will. Next question is from Socks Hawks All Day, and All Day asks, do you like them dank memes? Well, I guess. I don't know. I literally don't know the difference between memes and dank memes, so I'm sure I'm going to get filled in very shortly. Next question is from Burning Tooth, and Burning Tooth asks, do you remember me, and how did you come up with the name Z Gaming Guy? Burning Tooth, gotta be honest, it's hard to remember everyone's. I apologize, but this is a very memorable question, I'll say, because I get it asked a decent amount, but you're the only name I attributed to it. So, how did I come up with the name Z Gaming Guy? Well, obviously, my name's Zach. Okay, just to put it out there, it's not Zachariah Smith. I said that once in a video just because my friend would always say that to me, but it's not my real name. Just Zachary. So the Z for Z Gaming Guy is, of course, partly Zach, but it's also supposed to be the kind of, Z, he went to Z Mall. It's like a accent. I can't remember which accent, but so that was the beginning of it, and then the gaming guy part was just, I wanted to kind of be able to be obvious on what my channel's about. So that's kind of led to that eventually. I asked my friends what they thought of it, and they actually said, I don't know, but I ignored them anyway and just went with it, which I'm kind of glad because I do like it. And this is probably put on your tinfoil hats thing, because when you look at the big YouTubers, to me, the three of the biggest gaming YouTubers is well, I guess PewDiePie, obviously. PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye. There's a certain amount of syllables in there that kind of makes it flow nicely. You know what I mean? So, PewDiePie's it's me, PewDiePie, it's me, Z Gaming Guy. It still works with it. Same thing with the other two, Top of the morning, tea laddies, my name is Jacksepticeye. Top of the morning, tea laddies, my name is Z Gaming Guy. And, same thing with Markiplier. It kind of, there's this weird flow to it that works, and I kind of wanted that, so I was trying to aim for something along that line. Of course, I'm overthinking it like crazy, but I was if I get big, when you're starting out, you're oh, if I get big, this is what I'm gonna do. I was just thinking, it has to be good, it has to be memorable, it has to be easy to remember and stuff, and that's kind of what went into it. So it was kind of a lot of fun, but kind of not a lot of fun. Mostly just me being an idiot, so what's new? And the next question is from Drew McGuire. Drew asks, what's the ratio, roughly, of place and edit time to video length? So I think you're basically asking how much time I have to put into like recording and editing versus like what the final product is, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of my Mario Maker videos nowadays are about 25 minutes. I record for probably about an hour and 20, hour and a half-ish, depending on what I'm doing exactly. Because with when I'm playing your guys' levels, Mario vs. Z, I could either beat the levels really fast, which I'll probably do an extra level, or it takes me like 40 goddamn minutes to beat one. So it varies a bit depending on what I'm doing, but more or less I'm recording for about an hour and 20 minutes. Editing, that takes at least that long because I'm watching through it to make sure I'm not, like, I don't want to have like a hiccup randomly. Like if I hiccup and stuff, or if I clear my throat, I'll usually take out the little bit of audio where I'm doing that. Even though, like, sometimes you'll see my face go like this, but that's because I made a noise, but I took it out just because you don't want that in your ear hole. So I watch through it, and of course I make edits, and depending if I have a skit or not I want to do, or whatever, it might take longer. So editing takes about 50% longer than whatever I recorded. And you know what the final product is, so a lot of goddamn time goes into it. Luckily, videos like this are really simple. You know, I throw in a background, maybe I do a little bit of skidding in it, but for the most part, it's just look for parts where I'm not talking and take it out. Next question is from Brandon LT, and Brandon asks, what inspired you, or who inspired you basically to start YouTube? I get this one kind of a lot, and I think I answered it last time, maybe even the time before, but to keep it simple, to keep it short, basically I enjoyed acting. I did that in junior high a bit and some in high school, and I've always, you know, the acting kind of games you do with family and friends, I was always the crazy one, you know. And just to let you in a little info, a little secret here. When I was in junior high, we did a play of Cinderella, and the class thought, how funny would it be if the male was a princess and the female was a prince? So guess who got to play the princess? This guy. Fucking cool. So I had to wear a wig, got a dress on. I was a little too like buff for the dress, so I was like having a hard time breathing in it, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry females, I understand now. It was rough because I don't have breasts. I was just slightly pecs, you know, and it was something else. And then I walked home in it just because why the fuck not? And of course my neighbors walking by, like driving by, like, what are you doing? I'm like, So there's the acting side of it, and then I have a passion for games, so the two just made sense together. You know, I wanted to throw in skits here and there. This is far before I even saw Dashie. I've always wanted to have like skit things in there. Like I always had ideas and stuff, but never the reason to do it. But now that I have an audience a bit, I like to put it out there and see what you guys think. You know, it's gonna of course get met with some backlash and stuff, but you know, so there's things I put out there for you guys, and there's some things I put out there because I want to. So, and this next question is from Shivam. One of those, hopefully. And he asks, the Xbox One X will be going for $499. Do you think it's worth it? Fantastic question. Fantastic question. That's hard to say. I'm gonna get it day one because I favor Xbox over the other things, and the 4K part is nice, and eventually VR will probably make its way to it, or the HoloLens or something. And since I'm someone who's tried VR, I know how good it is, and I'm supporting it. So I think it's worth it. However, if you already own an Xbox, especially like an Xbox Slim that's capable of some 4K already, I have a hard time saying go out and get it. So if you're looking to go into an Xbox, like if you don't have one and you want one, yeah, I'd say wait and get that, because it's probably, I think it'll be, it's, you know, it's kind of like if you're going to buy a TV, you might as well go big because you're going to use it like every day for years, you know, and you might as well like be ahead of the curve and make it last longer in like technically, because if you get something kind of like that's a little cheaper but it's like 2 years older, well, it's going to go out of date a lot quicker. So that's how I feel about the Xbox. Next question is from J-Man. J-Man asks, I realize that you said recording on the PS4 is less convenient. Thank you for paying attention. But are there any games from the library that you'll be posting soon? Soon? I'm not sure. I mean, they have a lot of good indie games that I've always wanted to get into. but I don't know about soon. But for sure, I'm going to do God of War, the new God of War when it comes out. And fuck, Detroit Become Human, I think it's called. It's the kind of like girl, I can't remember the names of the games. Beyond Two Souls is like one of them. But you know, those kind of games. I love those games, so I'm definitely going to post that and God of War. As for everything else, I'm not sure. We'll see. This next question is from Zachary Zarn, and Zachary, nice name by the way, asks, where do you live? Well, obviously without giving specifics, I do live in Idaho, so that's cool. It's fucking hot right now. I love it. Next question is from Sammy Trejo, and Sammy says, when are you playing Dead by Daylight? I'm gonna be honest, I may have forgotten a little bit about playing it because I've gotten distracted by the Destiny 2 beta and other things and stuff, so sorry. But maybe I'll do it tomorrow. As in, so today, I'm recording this Tuesday. This will be up Wednesday, so I might record it Wednesday and have it up Thursday, potentially. We'll see. This next question is from Joseph De Stefano. I like that name. That feels good to say, De Stefano. I'm probably saying it wrong, but ooh. And Joseph says, are you a male or a Mario? Can I be both? Or is being Italian, like an Italian plumber specifically, are you somewhere in like the purgatory of male, female? You're just this own thing? Because that'd be impressive. I almost want to be that. I want to be unique. No, fuck Mario. I hate Mario. Like, I'm just, things are going through my head. I'm just recollecting all the moments he's tapped a spike and died. I would have died the other day when I stepped on broken glass if I was Mario, so male. This next question is from Teebs Fabs, and the reason I'm laughing is because always I can imagine them ask, like, the Fabs part makes me think Teebs Fabs, like going like that or something. I'm sorry for you had to see that. But this person asks, would you be doing a live stream Q&A session? If not, will you do it in the future? And at the bottom they also ask, what's my favorite unique level in Super Mario Maker? As for the live Q&A, I actually like that idea. Like, I wish I could have done it this time, personally, because I feel like that'd just be easier. Although I do sit here and think about my answers. Like, the only time I've thought about my answers so far up to this point was the Grand Theft Auto one. I was like, what do I want in Grand Theft Auto? But other than that, I've answered pretty immediately. But still, I think I'd like doing a live stream. That way I can like see feedback and see you guys responding back and being like, Zach, you wear a dress, you fucking nincompoop. Do people say that still? I don't think people say that still. So yeah, eventually I'd like to do that. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe in the next one. Maybe if we reach 50K, I can do it then. As for my favorite unique Super Mario Maker level, see, the thing about the unique ones is they're usually pretty easy because they have this unique spin to them, and that's the focus point, not so much the difficulty. Like, there was a Mario Kart level, and that was pretty cool. Like, I was very impressed with it, you know, and there's a couple musical levels that I was like, how? Like, the music stuff really amazes me just because the amount of patience to do it. You know, I would not have that patience. So I think the music ones and the Mario Go-Kart ones stand out more to me. But as for like, if I was to answer like what I had the most fun with though, I don't know if you remember the Papa level in my Kaizo Can Be Fun thing. That was so fun to me. Even though it was like it was actually pretty easy in the end because you basically helped right and the shells went everywhere for you, but it just made you feel good, you know? Oh, how I missed you, Papa. This next question is from 1,000 subs with no videos, and this person asks, sup, Dad? I have a question for you. Turn hat sideways. Do you like your pizza bone in or bones? But there's no bones in pizza. Well, I have to say boneless, just because every time I eat pizza, something else gets a bone. This next question is from RL9 the Best. Around, and no one ever gonna take it. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't say that. That would have been a long name, but threw it in there. Got out of hand. I apologize. He asks, will you be releasing some merch anytime soon? That would actually be pretty cool. I had thought about some things I wanted to do potentially. The problem is I am not an artist, despite me being left-handed, and when I draw at least. I'm not very creative or talented in that department, so I couldn't personally make anything. I do have a friend who's an artist that maybe I could throw something, or she could do something, but maybe. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be anytime soon because I'm not cool enough and rich enough, even though it's probably not that expensive, but I wouldn't get my hopes up of it happening anytime soon. However, if it ever happens, I'll definitely let you guys know and see if anyone's interested in having any type of merchandise. I mean, I could get the Z Gaming Guy logo and stick it on a shirt and be like, there you go. But that's pretty boring, you know? I want to like have something more special, more meaningful. This next question is from Adrian from Norway. Adrian asks, what's up? Nothing really, honestly. That's disappointing. The next question is from Jack Raiden. Or is it Raiden? One of those two. I like Raiden. The god of thunder, obviously. Jack asks, haha, look what I did there, I didn't even mean to. So funny. He asks, is YouTube your real job / did you study? If you're asking if I went to college, no, I did not. I didn't. The only thing I studied, if you're asking like related to YouTube, is through YouTube. Like the amount of YouTube videos I had to go through to like, how do I edit properly? How do I crop? How do I do, like, I was doing a lot of that in the beginning because I was just thrown into being watched out of nowhere. And I was like, I need to practice. So that's the only thing I studied. And as for is it my real job, I mean, it's not my primary job. I get money through YouTube, sure, but hardly enough to make a living off of. So for now, it's just a hobby, I guess you could almost say. Like, I want to make it my primary job, but if my videos were regularly getting like, I don't know, 70,000 views, like all of them, not just Mario, then I could probably do it. Otherwise, right now, it's just not gonna happen. Spademan3 asks, what do you like watching on YouTube? Well, I feel like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get this question later, so I might as well answer it now. I guess you could say my favorite YouTuber is Philip DeFranco, maybe? If you don't know who he is, he's basically like the world news / cool news, and he says it in a more interesting way. He's not, you know, someone from like CNN or something. He's actually funny, and I care about his opinion more. So I watch him basically every day, and I enjoy, like, from beginning to end. I don't skip or anything like that. So yeah, I watch him the most. Other than that, it's a lot of like I watch like Overwatch videos sometimes, you know, like tips and tricks and stuff. Even though like I already know them, I just watch it just in case I don't know something. Like when it comes to games that I really like, I'll go out of my way and watch like statistics on it. Be like, oh well, you do 2% more damage if you attack from this direction. You know, I actually watch those things because I'm a pleb and I want to get better at video games. I guess, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's basically what I watch mostly. That's all I have really time for. Oh, remember how earlier I said the big controversial question? We may get a winner now. This next question is from Ethan, and he asks, Marvel or DC? I actually prefer DC. I don't really know why. Just most of the Marvel characters aren't as engaging to me as the DC ones. Maybe because they're not, I don't know. I can't give you a really good explanation. Like, I like Thor. Okay. One of my most favorite superheroes, though, is Doctor Strange, who's in Marvel. Because I've said it before, but I love magic. However, in DC, everything gets a little more ridiculous. You know, like the Flash's abilities and Superman's, obviously, his abilities are, it's just stupid. He can like destroy a universe or something. So that ridiculous level of power, I'm more drawn to, probably because I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was young, so maybe that's why. And this next question is from Official Game Publish. I like your name, it's very official. And this person asks, will you be doing any vlogs in the future? Again, a question I get very regularly, and I'm going to continue to say I just don't see the interest in it, you know? Like, again, because I've never been interested in seeing other people vlog, so I don't see why people would be interested in me vlogging, because, I mean, I don't know, it just seems like it'd be kind of boring. But I mean, if it gets asked for enough, and if I find I'm doing something interesting, then I might. And this next one is from Media Resend. Media asks, will you ever try out Growtopia, a game owned by Ubisoft? It's a platformer creative MMO game. Whoa, I've never even heard of this game, so it could be something to check out. I mean, if it's a PC only game, I'd have to wait until I get a, you know, decent PC, but who knows? This next one is from Jay Credit. Jay asks, what made you start YouTube? Well, I already answered that. And how do you think you've gotten this far? Also, congrats on 40K. Thank you for that. Well, I mean, I'm not quite there yet, but thank you nonetheless. As for how I've gotten this far, I mean, obviously the Dashie video is largely crediting towards where, you know, my subscriber base came from. Anyway, as for other reasons, I mean, sometimes I don't know, honestly. I mean, when I look back at my old videos, even though at the time I felt like I was doing an okay job, I was clearly not as comfortable as I am now behind the camera. Some of the editing was sloppy. I could go on, and when I look back at it, I'm like, why are these the videos that people are watching? Because like, if I was to go to some random video, because I see it has a lot of views, and I see that, I don't know if I'd want to subscribe to that person. I mean, unless you're very nice. Thank you, I guess. But I'd probably turn away, like, that was okay, but I wouldn't subscribe to him. So to summarize, I just wiggle around and yell and say things. Well, I don't actually yell. I just say things very awkwardly and hope it works out. Again, that sounds like the first time I had sex. Okay, so that's it for the Twitter questions, and we've been answering questions for quite some time. I don't know how long it's been for you, but for me it's been 31 minutes. So I'm gonna choose some questions. I'm not gonna answer all of them because there was like 50, 60 replies or something. So I'll answer this one because it's very common again. From Cavs Life asking how old I am. I'm 25. My birthday's in September, if you're curious. So kinda soonish I'll be 26. This next question is from Ice Titan 123 asking, do you like anime / manga? If so, what series do you like? Funny thing is, I actually didn't like anime a long time ago. Because, I mean, you look at anime as, oh, that's a nerdy thing, I'm not going to involve myself with that. Things like, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, that, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I don't know, you know, like, you kind of looked at it like, well, I don't know about you, but, you know, society would look at it as, like, this very nerdy thing. Despite the fact that I watched Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, I think, but they were all in English, so to me, they weren't anime, you know, like they were just shows. And when someone who was a classmate of mine had pointed out, you know, Dragon Ball Z is anime, I'm like, what? No, it's not. And sure enough, yeah, it was. Zach, you idiot. So I delved into it a little more and turned out there was a lot of good anime out there, like some very compelling shows. Some of my favorite series out there have been through anime, surprisingly. I mean, I would never have thought that back in the day. But I mean, if you kind of, you know, shut down the whole like judgmental part of you and just go in and try to like, you know, have fun, enjoy it, you'll find that there's something out there for you, whether it be something like Attack on Titan or Death Note or more of a romance thing like Clanad, I don't know. There's a lot of good shows out there. And as for what series I like, currently I'm watching My Hero Academia. Fantastic series. I'm really enjoying it, so that's definitely one of my most hyped ones currently. This next question is from QWERTYMAN? QWERTYMAN? Something like that, asking, what's your favorite game besides Mario Maker? Well, some longtime viewers will know Mario Maker is certainly not my favorite game. In fact, my enjoyment of it has been sporadic, but since I've only been recording one a week lately, I've been enjoying it more. But when I was doing it like every other day, it was like, it was a drag, it really was. I was not liking the game. So I'm glad I narrowed it down, and I'm putting more enjoyment into my videos, which is better, in my opinion. But what my favorite game is, that apparently isn't Mario Maker, well, I mean, I'm wearing it right now, Mass Effect is one of my favorite series. My favorite singular game is probably Last of Us. So I have a lot of questions asking what like my job is, and obviously I can't say specifics. I mean, I actually have in a previous Q&A, but my boss watched that video and was like, hey, you can't talk about the job. So, I mean, if you feel like going out and looking for it, go for it, I guess. But in this video, I only work in a retail store, kind of like Costco, basically. So the hours are very sporadic. You know, lately I've been working a late shift and an early shift and a late shift and an early shift, and it's been ruining like my sleeping schedule and everything really badly, and making hard to record. So that's why I've only been having like 3 or 4 videos a week, because I record them all in one day or 2 maybe, well, my day off, and then I'll kind of put them out every day after that. So that's why videos have been a little scarce lately. So I'm sorry about that, but until my schedule gets straightened out a bit, it's kind of how it's going to have to be. This next question is from Honey Steeler 97 asking, do you think you will get 1 million subs eventually? Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, I think you have to believe if you want it. You can't expect to be like a professional basketball player without actually believing you will be a professional basketball player, you know what I mean? So I have to have the mindset that, yeah, someday I'm going to have 1 million views and I'm going to work towards that. But obviously that's not always going to be the case with everyone, maybe not for me, but I'm going to try as if I am, and hopefully one day we can get there, you know, and even 100,000 would be amazing. That's the current goal. I mean, current high goal. Like obviously the ultimate goal would be something like 1 million or whatever, but 100,000 at the very least would possibly make it so I can make it full time. So that's right now my like, oh, I want to get there. This next one is from Abraham Orozco, saying, what's up? Are you gonna make any more animations? They were hilarious. The one animation I have up is not from, I didn't make it. It was someone else. He's credited in the video in the description, but I didn't make it. I'm not cool enough to be able to, well, definitely not patient enough at the very least to make an animation. So yeah, that wasn't me that made it. And if any animations are going to be done in the future, it's also not going to be done by me. It's just going to be made by awesome people like you guys who just felt like doing it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how these things work. You know, I was very humbled to get it the first time. If people wanted to go out of their way to do something like that, then I'd certainly share it with everyone. But until then, I'm not sure. This next one is from Just Say Ramp, and Just asks, how does it feel having fans from Jamaica? It's pretty cool. Actually, when I look at my, like, where my fan base is, well, according to YouTube, it says that about 56%, I think, 56% is from the United States, but everywhere else is from other parts of the world, which I think is pretty cool. You know, like, I think the United Kingdom is the second highest percentage, but to see that there's views from like all around, I think that's super cool. Like, I don't know, I just like the idea of everyone coming together in a single area and just enjoying the same thing, you know. I don't know, I like that. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 more. I really should have stopped by now, but I want to answer as much as I can, and a lot of these are pretty good questions. This next one is from Hamad Khan Jamil asking, can you play more challenges in the 100 Live Super Mario Maker like Ryu? So I think the only one I've really done is the 5 Lives challenge. I think that's it. No, I did one where upside down controller. That was terrible. That was harder than I expected. See, I like to, but the problem is if I do it, I'm copying Ryu. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not worth dealing with it, you know? I mean, if enough of you want it, I'll gladly do challenges and stuff. I have no problem doing them. But I have a hard time coming up with them myself, and normally I get suggestions that Ryu had just done or something, because, you know, they just saw it, like, oh, I want to see Z Gaming, I do it. But again, if I did that just right after him, then I'm copying him, so. Obviously, the ones watching the video probably aren't going to think that. The ones who are watching this one now aren't going to think that. But people who just chime in, they're probably like, he's growing a beard, he's copying Ryu. Oh my god, he got mad because he died for the 70th time. He's copying Dashi. Dashi's the one that gets mad. People just love drawing comparisons when they're just not there. And this will be the last question. So this one's from Jeremiah Garcia, and he asks, on average, how much do you get paid per video? See, I kind of like talking about this to be like more transparent, but it depends on the video. So, for example, my recent paychecks, because you get them every month from Google, which is all videos that aren't Nintendo. From this paycheck, I got about $200, a little over $200, and from my Mario ones, I got like $28. It sucks because obviously I'm getting a lot more views on my Mario Maker videos, and my other ones get like 1,000, you know. So let's look at it week by week. If I get 8,000 views on a Mario video and I get you know, on the next 3 videos, they all get 1,000, so 3,000 to 8,000. Obviously, that should mean I get paid more for Mario, right? Well, no, because Nintendo's grimy little hands wouldn't be like, "Ugh, give me the money." So I get paid a lot less for Mario videos, which is a huge reason why I can't, like, that's one of the things that'll determine when I can go full-time, is if my other videos get more views, because that's where the money's really, you know, coming in. Okay, well that does it for the questions. There's more, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to some of the questions there, but there was a lot, and I wanted to get through as much as I could, and I trying to not talk too long on them, but sometimes I just start going and I can't stop. I know I'm a terrible person. I'm doing it right now even. Shut up, Zach. Shut the fuck up. I did want to say before I go is there are a lot of times where like I just have these things I want to talk about. You know, like let's say you had something happen in life that was so funny or so crazy, you're just like, I want to just tell everyone about it. I have those moments too, you know, and sometimes when I'm on here, I'm like, maybe I should tell them about what happened today. But then maybe that's what vlogging is basically, isn't it? I don't know, shit. Maybe I do want to vlog. But basically, you know, sometimes I'll think, oh, I want to tell them about it, but then I'm like, but I'm a gaming channel. They're not here to see this stuff. So I always hold it back. You know, like, what do you guys, like, let me ask a question to you now. What do you think about, like, maybe after credits or something, I just say a random story of what happened today, or in a past thing, or just a thought I had or something. Like, does that interest anyone? Like, and don't worry about hurting my feelings. Like, I understand if that's not what you want to hear, because again, I'm a gaming channel. I should be gaming. But I was just curious, you know, if anyone just is interested in that stuff. So maybe if you are, I could put some of that kind of thing in the end of videos or something. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A. I know this one was more boring compared to my last one where I had several other me's doing things, but more questions, so that's a good thing, I think. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.